Hello everybody, Relle here, and today we'll be looking at Avernum Escape from the Pit. Developed by Jeff Vogel and published by his company Spiderweb Software, Avernum is a relatively little-known franchise that is nonetheless beloved by its fanbase. For today's quest, we'll be asking the pertinent question, should you buy it? Avernum Escape from the Pit is a classic computer RPG, but despite it being the first in the series, this isn't the beginning of the franchise. Originally dubbed Exile and released for Windows in 1996, Avernum was later remade in 2000, then remade again in 2011 in order for it to be compatible for newer versions of Windows and iPad, which makes Escape from the Pit a remake of a remake. The story remains the same, but the character creation and combat system have been updated, along with plenty of quality of life improvements. The basic premise of Avernum is as follows. The Empire rules the entire surface world, so when they need to get rid of people who disturb the peace, they toss them through a portal into the vast underground cavern known as Avernum. No one on the surface really knows what's down there, and no one has ever escaped. You begin the game as such a group of misfit adventurers, thrown into exile for some reason or another, and you must survive this harsh underground world, make a name for yourself, and maybe even save all of Avernum. The general flow of the game has you taking on quests which range from clearing out goblin forts to finding lost and precious items, and eventually taking on missions from the local rulers that send you after progressively more dangerous threats. As you grow stronger, you can press deeper into new lands, find new quests and treasure, and even challenge the Empire itself. The game does a good job of making you feel like beginning adventurers that gradually become more powerful and famous, and eventually essential to Avernum's survival. The core gameplay harkens back to old 2D computer RPGs. You move around an isometric map, and combat is done in turns, determined by who has the faster speed stat. You can build your characters to be melee combatants, archers, mages, or any combination you prefer. Unlike most RPGs, you don't automatically gain spells as you level up. You'll have to find a proper trainer to teach you, and thorough exploration is rewarded with new abilities, lore, and loot. Certainly the biggest and most obvious flaw in Avernum is the lack of music. The background music you're listening to now only plays on the title screen, and once you're in the game, this is what you'll hear. This is largely a consequence of Jeff Vogel being the only one working on these games, and while it is very noticeable nowadays, the lack of music does serve to emphasize the emptiness and barren atmosphere of Avernum. That said, the lack of music can be a game breaker for some, and understandably so. Avernum Escape from the Pit is currently available on PC, Mac, Android, and iOS for $10 American. You'll find a good 40 hours of gameplay in Avernum, making it a great value proposition. If the music is a sticking point, Spiderweb Software probably isn't the developer for you. However, if you're craving an old-school, challenging RPG and can overlook the lack of music, immerse yourself in Avernum. You'll be glad you did. Thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed this review, subscribe and click that notification bell to see more in the future. Leave me a comment with your thoughts below, and I will see you next time.